What's going on with that?
Please don't be offended, but I need to pronounce your last name right.
Oh, dude, it's Zbacnik, or Zbacnik.
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 I'm gonna murder this.
Zbacnik. It's easy, dude.
Zbacnik?
It's like Zbacnik.
Zbacnik.
That's it, dude.
Oh, okay. So you start with the Zbacnik.
Zbacnik.
Okay. Wow, that's badass.
It's a weird one, man. It's pretty funny. Is for my entire life, anytime someone's like Robb Zbacnik, and I'm like, it's me.
Yeah. But you were always called last.
I always cut them off for sure.
Because they go through A through Z.
Picked last.
Every once in a while they'll start with Z though. Remember? And
oh yeah, they go
like,
backwards.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, it's my time.
Yeah. Can you pull us just maybe a little bit closer?
Yeah, sure.
I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah, you're good, man.
Sweet. Awesome. And then just a warning.
Uh-huh.
I'll be looking over in this direction towards the monitors and the audio shit because I'm just making sure we're recording. I'm not like bored or anything.
Making sure shit's good, dude. I get it.
So
you got a lot of moving parts right now, man.
Totally.
A lot of shit going down.
Yeah, so I got a message one day from actor and old Bogcast guest Burke Floyd.
Yeah, dude.
And
super good dude.
It said, well, one of the lines verbatim is, "Rob is one of my true guys on a fam level." And so immediately I was like, fuck yeah, I got to read the rest of this message.
Yeah, dude.
And he was just saying how he's on Survivor. He's a bartender at Saddle Ranch. He was on the reality show. He's from Scottsdale. And as I'm reading this, I'm just thinking, this fucking sounds really familiar for some reason.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
For sure.
So I couldn't help it but Google your name. And as soon as I fucking Googled your name, I was like, holy shit, I remember this dude auditioned for my band back in the day.
Yeah.
So do you actually remember this?
Dude, I remember the whole, I could tell you the whole story. I don't remember who met me initially. I can't remember his name. What was his name?
Jay Maynard.
Jay. He went by Jay, right?
Yeah, Jay Maynard.
Okay.
Because I'll tell you why, because excuse me. All cops are cannabis cops, by the way. What bar did you work at?
So I worked at
Martini Ranch.
I worked at Cat Eye.
Cat Eye. That's what it was.
I worked at Cat Eye and I worked at Sanctuary.
Okay, so one night as a band, we went out to Cat Eye, and Jay was. I'll never forget this. He was at the bar, and you were bartending, and he was looking at you like this the entire time. And me and my buddy, the other guitar player, Mike, shout out to Mike, we were like, holy shit, Jay's gonna fuck this guy tonight, right?
Yeah.
And we were just making fun of him like all night like that, but it just fucking dudes being dudes and fucking
100%.
By the end of the night, he comes walking up, he's like, yo, that guy fucking wants to audition for our band. We're like, shit, sick. Because at that time, we had everything but a vocalist, and we had put out a flyer, and then we auditioned all kinds of crazy people, and then yeah, you came in. I don't know if you want to explain.
Yeah, dude. So Jay and I were communicating, and he gave me a CD. He gave me a CD with one song on it, and he's like, "Come up with some ideas for the song, and then I have all this studio time. Like, I have all this studio time. You can come and sing on the song, and we'll see like what's up." And I was like, "Oh, that's weird. Like the band won't be there." And he's like, "No, we're doing it different. We're doing it this way." And I had always like. Anytime, like I was in a band before that with Kevin Armstrong. Do you remember him from Pleasure Heavy Device, PhD?
PhD, yeah,
totally. He was the lead singer.
They were a pretty huge local band.
They were a big time local band. But his project after PhD, we had two vocalists, typical like fucking terrible rap rock, but we had two vocalists, and it was Kevin and I. And when I kind of auditioned for that band, I showed up and we jammed, and then we started playing together. So it was a different thing with your guys' band. I went to the studio. He gave me this CD. I went there. They recorded me singing, which was terrifying for me.
We did?
Yeah, you guys recorded me singing.
Okay. I don't remember that part, but I'm sure you're right for sure.
So we recorded. I recorded there, dude. And Jay had just gotten his feet tattooed, the tops of his feet. He had just gotten like fucking like Japanese like samurai masks. They were so sick. But he had just gotten tattooed, so his feet hurt. But anyways, dude. I went to the studio in a house. There was a super hot mic. Like it picked up everything. It was insane. The CD that he gave me, for whatever reason, the song was slower on the CD than it was. The tempo was slower than it was on the CD for the song. So when we got to the studio, they played it and it was way faster. And I go, no, dude, I still had the CD with me. I was like, no, dude, I was like singing the whole car ride over.
To a different tempo.
To a different tempo and in my room and like wherever. So anyways, long story short, I brought the CD with me. I went and got it. And the guy's like, oh, fuck. He's like, well, we can slow it down, I guess, and just, whatever. So I sang, and I mean, this is before I'd ever taken vocal lessons, and like I knew how to scream really well, but I didn't really know the colors of my voice. So it was
I wasn't there for that.
You weren't there for that?
No.
So listening to it back, what ended up happening was, dude, like a lot of stuff started happening after that. And I was like, Jay, I'm going to vocal lessons, and I don't know what's gonna happen with your band. I don't remember what happened. But basically he was like, no, dude, like you should meet the guys. I don't remember. But nothing really came of it. But it was still sick, dude. It was the funniest thing. It was my first time recording. And then he gave me the CD afterwards, and I took it with me and played it for like my girlfriend and like people who are close to me. And some people liked it, but then my true friends who had honest opinions were like, there's a couple times where you're really flat and really sharp. And I'm
well,
like,
you need those friends.
100, dude, a true friend will stab you in the face.
Yeah.
100%. So, yeah, dude. A couple of my homies were like, you're really flat and really sharp in some spots, but otherwise when you sing like in here where your range is, you sound really good. So you should have to learn to control your voice. I was so green, dude. But yeah, so that was my story with your band.
Well, no, I think maybe I'm wrong, but I tried to remember the story with Jay. My experience is completely different. Maybe it was somebody else, but we actually had a jam studio. It was next to the Alaskan Bush Company. It was a bunch of jam rehearsals, and we were just auditioning singers
Holy
as
shit,
we were
dude.
playing.
Okay. I'm thinking of a different band then.
So,
I remember.
check this out.
Yeah, dude.
And then as we jammed, you didn't sing a fucking word, actually. That's why I don't think we were recording, because we were just a live band practice, right?
Yeah.
And then after you left, we're like, oh, okay, I guess you just, we just figured you were nervous or
I remember.
whatever.
I remember that.
And
100%.
then for me personally, I don't know how many months later, maybe 3-6 months later, I heard that you got cast on fucking Survivor, and I was like, holy shit, what the fuck, that dude auditioned for our band. And that's how that message that I got from Burke, that's how I was like,
Yeah, so dude, I have this completely confused.
So
the story that the story that you're telling is 100% true. The story that I was told was with a different band, and they ended up being called The Gift.
But Jay might have been in both.
I don't think so. So dude, so when your guys' band, I remember I went.
We were called Ghost Life.
Ghost Life, which is such a sick band name still. I remember going. I love that. Ghost Life's sick, dude.
Yeah.
It's so funny. My friends and I will still like randomly, dudes I snowboard with and just old homies, randomly like someone will be like, dude, wouldn't this be a sick band name?
Oh yeah, totally.
All the time.
I do that all the time too.
Dude, the last band that I was in LA, we had the fucking worst. We were called the Exploding Tracks. It was awful. But it was like, at the time, we were a hardcore band, and I wanted to call us Behold the Hyena, which is like so obscure and stupid.
Yeah, but you know what? The band makes the name. Like Korn's the dumbest name ever, but you don't think about it because they
were sick, dude.
Yeah.
But they're still sick. I watched the Lollapalooza documentary that's on HBO. Really fucking interesting, dude. It's like an hour and a half. 99 Lollapalooza, or 99 Woodstock, excuse me. And I knew how heavy it was, but I didn't really know how heavy it was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's like
always crying in the studio and
all
shit?
These rapes and like all this shit that happened for
Jonathan Davis?
No, with Woodstock in general. Anyway,
all the crazy
sorry,
shit.
Dude, my whole life my whole life's a tangent. Anyways,
no,
dude,
you're good.
Yeah, Korn was on there and it was sick. He talked about how he blacked out for the whole show. He's like, he doesn't remember singing anything. He's like, I just went into I wanted to go the hardest I'd ever gone because it was Woodstock. So
I've seen the videos of that. The crowds are insane.
Dude, it looks like somewhere in like Europe. It's like fucking thousands and thousands of people. But
that's gotta be an outer body experience.
100%. Playing for that many people, that would be fucking so heavy. But dude, I remember you guys. I remember this place, dude. I went into your guys' little place. There was like a sliding glass door. I walked in. There was a drum set, and it had like all the cymbals were broken. And the dude was like apologetic. He's like, "Sorry, dude, I hit really hard or whatever." But
probably, yeah.
We went in there and there was like, you guys just started jamming. There were a couple times I sang, but I remember being like, dude, I'd like to come back and like do this again. And then nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
I remember that night completely. I brought beer with me and you guys were like blown away. You're like, no one's ever brought beer with them. I brought like a 12.
Well, we were all hardcore alcoholics though.
Yeah, I brought like a 12.
Normally,
I brought like a 12-pack of beer with me and you guys were like, that was so cool of you. I was like, well,
you have to understand, we were auditioning so many dipshits. You know
so many
I mean?
idiots showed up.
Like these one guys fucking like stripped down fucking naked. They like these two dual like it was like it was just a disaster, dude. So for you to show up with beer, we're like, oh, this dude's at least like human being.
Gets it. But yeah, dude, so that's such a trip because this whole time, you know, obviously we spoke briefly before today and you were like, you auditioned for my band. I thought it was a completely different band. So I completely remember that too, which is fucking so rad because I haven't thought about that in forever. I remember rolling into that. It was a house and you guys, there was like a sliding glass door.
Well, no,
like
it was
garage.
actually, it's called Francisco Studios. It's like a jam studio that has like probably, I don't know, maybe 30 different bands that have different rooms that they play in. And it's right next to the Alaskan Bush Company. And
sick. I don't remember that, but I thought it was a house. But anyways,
yeah.
Sick. So dude, I totally remember that. I remember coming in and like sitting down and fucking you guys just started
But ever since then, dude, obviously a lot of crazy shit, you know, has happened since. I mean,
life's fucking weird, man.
So like I remember that year driving to work and I was obsessed with Howard Stern at the time.
Yeah.
And he was talking about Survivor and he was actually making fun of you because I guess I'm gonna be honest, I've never fucking watched the show, but
dude,
he was making fun of you because I'll never forget this for bringing a skateboard or whatever and shit. And I was like, 100%. I know that motherfucker.
You know he tried out for our band.
Yeah, he tried out for our band and shit. Like I
love it
because you were the first person that I ever knew like before they were famous, and then like all of a sudden was like famous. You know what I mean? So it was just like
I don't know
it was like
famous,
a weird. Dude, that was like one of the biggest shows in the fucking world at that time.
Dude,
like everyone I knew watched it. My parents, don't get me wrong, because I didn't watch it. I knew the concept of it. I was at my parents' house while they watched it.
I didn't see a single episode before I got cast on that show. I had to, while they were sequestering me at the Doubletree.
Can you pull us a little bit closer, bro? I'm so sorry.
Don't worry about it. While they were sequestering me at the Doubletree in Santa Monica, which they do during the audition process, they were like, you have to get up to speed on how shit goes. Because I knew the concept. You basically are in a tribe and people either fuck with you or they don't. They're like, this guy sucks. Let's get rid of him. So I immediately I picked up on that and I was like, okay, I can figure this out. And then obviously they had me watch tapes of Survivor. So it's you don't have to.
Well, I wanted to ask I mean, is it cool to talk about Survivor? I'm sure you're fucking sick and tired of fucking
100%, man. It's definitely, it's part of my life. It's like people ask me all the time about it.
Because I'm more interested in like the behind the scenes, like how you got cast in it and the audition process. Like, what was that like? So did you see a casting call for it, or did they seek you, or did you have an agent?
No, dude. So this is fucking hilarious. There was a casting for the Real World, and it was at a friend of mine's bar. It was at Martini Ranch, which is crazy now because now it's Wasted Grain, and a friend of mine's a partner in it. But anyways, dude, at the time he was just working there. And he's like, dude, there's an open call today for the Real World. You should come. And I was like, fuck that. So I went anyway. I went with my girlfriend at the time, who's such a rad girl. She still lives out. Her name's Lauren Alonzo. Such a dope chick. She came with me to the Real World thing and they fucking loved her. Like she was like basically almost on the Real World. Didn't work out. And then she was like, I'm over it. They wanted her to reapply for another season. They basically with me, the dude was like, you know, you're great. Got my contact information. I think he emailed me a couple times, but I was like, who cares? So I was like, dude, it would be kind of cool to be on a reality show. You know what I mean? So it kind of got my head spinning. Anyways, then there was a dating game show that cast in Scottsdale. It was called Eliminate. And the dude came into my bar. He came into the Cat Eye, and he was like, yo, like you'd be great for this TV show. It's called Eliminate. You go on a date with 3 girls. You think you could handle that? And it was so funny, dude. 22-year-old me. I was like, oh, I could fucking totally handle that, bro. So the dude had me on this fucking silly dating game show. His name was Paul. And the chicks were whatever. They're kind of, it was weird. It was Eliminate. You know, we met at a bar, we went to another bar, and then we finished at a third bar. So it was like all over Old Town Scottsdale. And you know,
was this a big show at the time, or?
No, it was, dude. It was, I don't know what network it was on, but it was, I mean, people saw it. I got clowned for it harder than I ever got clowned for anything I did on Survivor. But so long story short, I did Eliminate. It came out, like skipped to like, I don't know how many months later, maybe 5 months later, 4 months later. I spent a lot of time in Orange County at this time in my life because my friends have a very successful clothing company now, but it's, when it was fledgling, it's called Sullen Clothing. And in its infancy, they would have parties in Orange County and they would host these sick parties. And I would fly to Orange County, hang out with my friends that own this clothing company. And like, you know, I was a kid. I felt like I was part of something. It was rad. And now they have, dude, they're doing millions of dollars in sales a year. And they're a hugely known band in the tattoo world because they do shirt designs from famous tattoo artists, and the tattoo artists get a cut.
I've heard of someone before.
Yeah, they get a cut.
Yeah.
They get a cut on the back end. So, anyways, long story short, I was just about to jump on a flight, and this is, this is a fucking Stone Age before text messages. So my phone lights up, and I'm like, "Hello." He's like, "Hey, this is Paul." Cannabis cough. He's
Secondhand
like,
cannabis cough.
He's like, "Hey, this is Paul. You know, I cast you on Unlimited." I was like, "What's up, Paul? Paul's dope. He's a super New York dude." He's like, "Hey, I'm casting this other show. You know, I think you'd be great for it. You want to make $1 million?" And I was like, "What?" I was like, "Of course I want to make $1 million. You know how many fucking sweet, tight emo shirts I can buy for fucking $1 million in my 22-year-old brain?" So he's like, "I'm casting for Survivor, dude." And I remember there was like a minute where I was like, "What?" Because at the time the show is fucking like, it was like into the fourth season or the fourth season at the time, and I remember just being like, "Dude, that show's everywhere. Every fucking Inquirer, like when you're in line at the grocery store, every magazine, like you said, people thought it was a big deal. It was a big deal. It was one of the first real reality shows where like it was like a game,
especially where you're competing.
Yeah, exactly. Where it was like a game, it was competition. So long story short, again, I recorded probably in the history of Survivor the most boring submission video ever. My brother-in-law filmed me talking about myself. I was like, I manage a bar. I snowboard a lot. I skate. I love music. I think, like I told, little tidbits about my life, dude. I was like, I used to be really sad when I was a kid, and now I got over that, and I'm pretty happy, dude. Still the case. But so I sent this video in, and I didn't hear anything. And I was like, I knew I should have done something cool. Like showed me fucking do something, showed me cook, or like showed me like in my element, like fucking making drinks, or who knows, but it shouldn't have been that boring. So I didn't hear shit. And then this dude calls me out of the blue again, and he's like, "Hey, Rob. So the producers saw, your submission video. They want to have you come out. They want to have you come out to Santa Monica and audition for the show." So I got there, and it was like, it ends up being 32 people. So it ends up being 16 castaways over 32 days. So there's probably 50 people at this hotel. Showed up there, we're not allowed to talk to anyone.
So it's is it 8 males, 8 females, or is it?
Dude, it is actually.
Okay.
So yeah, exactly. I had to like think about that. I think
and
it's
then 50
I think that's
people
still
auditioning for that.
I think that still is the format too. So yeah, but there was probably like 50 people at this hotel, and then day by day it got whittled down to like you would see people would be gone, but you couldn't talk to anybody because they don't want people establishing and building relationships early on, like before the game starts.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, dude, I was basically in this hotel that's surrounded by like cute girls and like these other dudes who are way older than me, like people my parents' age at the time, and like, people not quite my parents' age, but people like definitely a couple decades older than me, people in their 40s and 50s. And like, I was like, holy fuck, this 22-year-old kid. But, like I said, people would slowly start getting whittled down. But we had to sit at our separate tables every time we were in a common area. So basically, dude.
So they were clear about don't
talk to anybody. And they, dude,
yeah.
you had people from CBS everywhere, like constantly
monitoring,
making sure that you weren't talking to people. So anyways, dude, during the audition process, as I got further in, meeting with producers, meeting Mark Burnett, meeting Jeff Probst, fucking crazy. I was like, who the fuck are these people?
That's what the audition process is at this point, is just meeting these people?
Yeah, just meeting these people and having them ask me questions. How would you deal with this? What do you think about this? Fucking, like, what's your favorite color? Who's the president of the United States? Like, fucking, anyways. They wanted to make sure I wasn't completely stupid. We had a light physical tests. Like, we had to like run on the beach, and they like took our heart rate and shit. And fun fact, dude, while I was auditioning for Survivor, I had walking pneumonia. Yeah, but it was, my life is fucking hilarious. But dude, the way that it worked out when I started auditioning for Survivor is I was on the tail end of like 2 months in a row of partying the hardest I ever did in my 20s. So I was super promiscuous. Dude, I was fucking hooking up with all kinds of girls. And I mean, dude, I was in my 20s. That's what you're supposed to do in your 20s. I was a stupid kid. Anyways, they fucking had me come there, and I was like, well, just so you guys know, I'm getting over walking pneumonia. And they're like, fucking at 20, you're like getting walking pneumonia? Like, what the fuck? So basically they had to make sure I wasn't going to die. Everything ended up working out. So once my antibiotics were done while I was auditioning because I was there for like fucking 10 days or something, dude. It was a minute. So I had antibiotics for like the first 3 or 4 days. Anyways, dude, again, my friends in Orange County were a stone's throw away from Santa Monica at the time. 1 hour drive, you know, like.
So after all the shit was done, you could go and hang out with them?
While I was auditioning, one of the nights I snuck out. I was like, dude, I'm a fucking grown man.
You weren't allowed to?
Fuck no, dude. You couldn't leave the hotel. You were sequestered. So it was like we had a day off and we were allowed to do whatever we wanted, but there were like CBS people out in the wild, like making sure we weren't talking to the other castmates or the people who could potentially be castmates.
How did you sneak out? Was it hard or?
No, I put my backpack on. It was a huge hotel.
Yeah.
I walked out of the elevator, pretended like I was going for a walk, had my backpack on with like a toothbrush and just in case I had to crash in Orange County for a little bit. And I knew that I didn't have to be back till like 10 o'clock the next morning. So I was like, you know, cool, I'll party and fucking get a couple hours sleep. My friend can take me back up here.
If you would have gotten caught, would they have just sent you home?
I got caught, dude.
Oh, you did get
caught.
So,
dude, yeah. I go to Orange County. My friend rolls up, picks me up in Orange County. My friend picks me up in Santa Monica. We go to Orange County. We party. I do exactly what I said. I fucking sleep on his pull-out couch for like 5 hours. I wake up. It's like 7 o'clock in the morning, probably maybe like 6:30. I'm like, dude, you got to drive me back to Santa Monica. Like you got to take me back to LA basically. So he drove me back up there and I fucking walk into the hotel with my fucking blue Burton backpack on and my same outfit from the night before and completely get stopped. And the chick, she's like, we called you like 5 times last night in your room. People knocked on your door this morning. We didn't know what the fuck was going on. We're sending you home. And I was like, fuck. I was like, well, you know, this is typical 22-year-old me. I was like, well, I guess I blew this opportunity to move on to the next thing. Fuck it. I had a blast. Go to my room. They had me come talk to the producers. I think that I'm about to be going home. They show me the cast basically covered up. So these are the castmates, but they have like Polaroids, but they have like tape. They have something over it, paper covering the face of these people. And they remove one of them and it's me. And they're like, we're casting you. But if you fuck this up, there's 2 alternates that are ready to go in your place. Don't fuck this up. You need to get a passport. They gave me a list of all the shit I had to do. And I was like, holy fuck. Like it didn't even set in. I went to my hotel room and called my mom and I was like, Mom, I think I'm on the show. And she's like, well, what happened? And I told her what happened. And I was like, but I got in trouble right before that. And they told me I was going home. And then my mom goes, no, honey, you're going to be on the show. Like why would you do that? Why did you leave? And I was like, I don't know. I was fucking bored.
Even you doing that, that's the kind of shit they want on the
show. Oh, it was 100%.
You know what I mean?
Later on, they were like, dude.
They're like, this is perfect.
I was the youngest one cast at the time. I was definitely the fucking only like bro I was such a bro at the time, dude. But anyways, they had, so that's how I got cast. And then, I mean, whatever else you want to know about Survivor, man, I can tell you. I got a memory like a steel trap of everything that happened.
Let me see here. Let's see. I wrote a couple of just questions.
Yeah, man.
Let's see. Okay, this is a question I asked. I want to know: was all the drama real, or was any of it like staged or fake? Because I know how reality shows are, and you know, for example, like if there's a fight and then maybe the cameras don't catch it right or they don't get the shots right, they'll actually ask the actors to redo, or not the actors, but the reality stars or whatever, you know what I mean, to redo the fucking shit. Does that happen a lot?
No. So that happens a lot in reality TV for sure.
Totally.
Like the horrible Saddle Ranch show that I did for VH1, super embarrassing show. That show, a lot of the things were like, they gave us talking points and they like built a story. Which is, I mean,
so they kind of have like a plot line in a way they're trying to
they base stuff like on what has happened. So the story kind of starts out kind of free, you know, it's completely people just doing their thing and they have kind of like plot points they want to hit. Like, oh, you guys are moving from one location to the other and there's going to be drama between you and this other group of individuals who works at the other location. So then from there, the story builds. And then shit happens in real life. Like I got in a fight, like all this fucking stupid shit happened.
This is on Saddle Ranch.
This is on the Saddle Ranch show. So then that show was, I mean.
So it's like half and half. Like
it was like half.
Staging shit. And
that's how every reality
drama.
show is pretty much.
Totally, yeah.
So like.
But I wasn't sure about Survivor because.
Survivor is 100% real, dude.
Yeah, they put you through so much hell that.
Dude, it's inevitable that you're going to get fucking sick of someone's shit and you're going to get tired of listening to someone talk. like the girls talked about recipes all day and all they did is talk about food, which is fine. But I mean, I was like, yo, all of us are hungry. I haven't eaten anything real in fucking, I was there for 18 days, which is fucking still mental to me. Over 2 weeks. Like I didn't lie to a single person. I was just fucking out there, just hanging out, body surfing and acting like a fucking idiot. But, so dude, like the drama that happens is 100% real. And sometimes they'll take things that the only thing that kind of gets cut where like they make a story is like, let's say like early on in Survivor, like if they interviewed me about somebody and they're like, how do you feel about so-and-so? And I'm like, oh, they're cool, you know, whatever. And then 5 interviews later, like 3 days later, they're like, how do you feel about so-and-so? And I'm like, he's a fucking dick. I can't stand this guy. I hope he fucking dies in a fire. So it's like, they can cut that into the beginning. So it looks like all along I was like trying to, like I was out for him.
Yeah. I figured they can edit the footage anyway.
Because they always have continuity. It's not like I'm going to change. I had 2 fucking outfits. I either had a long sleeve shirt and pants or a short sleeve shirt and shorts. We were allowed 2 t-shirts, 2 pair of like shorts or pants. I think 2 pairs of shoes, fucking stupid hat I brought with me, the bucket hat that I brought with me. Oh,
so
Lord.
you can only bring so many items with you?
So it's for them to have continuity to be able to edit is like super, super easy because everyone's already wearing the same shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So, when you saw the final, version on TV, were you upset or like, what the fuck? Cause they did maybe manipulate
I mean,
your
dude,
storyline or the way your personality or the way you are.
Yeah, I definitely have a super competitive side of my personality. Like I wrestled and played football, and dude, I'm kind of an aggro dude in certain situations, but that's the only side they chose to show in the beginning, and then they showed me have this full turnaround of me becoming really really
like a redemption.
Yeah, like 100%.
But they made you look like a dick.
They made me look like a dick for forever. And dude, but it's I shouldn't say they made me look like a dick. They only showed one side of my personality, and that side of my personality exists. So it's like they didn't really make me look like anything. They just showed a side of me that fucking sucked at the time. I was super confrontational for no reason when I was in my 20s.
We all were. We've all done.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I was insane. Like I watched some of the show again like 4 years ago. One of the girl I was dating wanted to see it. And it was like so cringy to me to see the way that I was, the way that I carried myself.
I couldn't imagine watching any video of
yourself in your 20s. Dude, like full talking videos.
Yeah.
It was heavy, dude. But obviously all of us grow and all of us mature and all of us, go on with life. It's what life is. It's the human experience. So to be able to watch it documented is fucking pretty funny. But
it's also like a rare, awesome experience.
100%. To look back at it, like, dude, I was... there were a couple nights where like I woke up sleeping on the beach where the clouds would go. We were in monsoon season, so it was cloudy a lot, but in the night, couple times in the night, I would wake up and there would be no clouds and there would be no light pollution because then there was no moon, and I could see every fucking star in the sky. And it was like, dude, me laying on the beach and listening to the waves crash like 20 feet from my feet. And looking at the stars, like I have memories. I still have dreams about it, dude, which is crazy. It had that much of an impact on my life. But you were able to like enjoy the time 100%
away from the game and the
dude.
Show?
I found, I guess even especially nowadays, I think I'm very much in the moment, And as when I was younger, I don't think I even knew what that meant. But I've always been that way. I always like when things blow me away, there's no mistaking it. Like I will 100% fucking hold on to it. Like. Whoa, that was fucking unreal.
But they gave you the time to do that though, or was it just filming constantly?
It was filming constantly, but anytime you were alone, they didn't film you. And when you're sleeping in the middle of the night, there's a dude on standby in case you wake up and want to talk shit about somebody, like and then he'll call in another castmate. No, they would do it with the old night vision camera where everything's green.
Oh yeah.
And they would just basically film you. The dude would have that. The dude had like a handy cam. He caught some of our arguments.
I don't understand how you could get proper sleep knowing some guy standing there doing it.
Dude, you're so tired, man.
Oh yeah.
It's fucking, everything's exhausting, dude. It's like you're in the sun. You're thirsty. You drink fucking water that tastes like smoke. The food is fucking coconut or nothing at all, and it's just there's sand in everything, constantly. like fucking your ears, your butt crack, like in between your fucking toes, in between your hands. Your whole life is just fucking sand in my eyes, the corners of my eyes.
You probably felt like $1 million when you took that first shower after.
Oh, dude, it was, yeah. The first night that I got voted off, they ask you, they're like, what do you want to eat? And I legitimately was like, I want a beer and peanut butter. And when I pulled up to the where they send you after you're voted off, when I got there to the Ponderosa is what it's called. When I got to the Ponderosa, they had fucking creamy or crunchy peanut butter and these fucking fat little short cans of Heineken. And my homie who's on the show, Jed, one of the coolest fucking people on earth, dude. Super righteous dude. Like, I'm not into religion at all, but he's a really Christian dude. And he's virtuous, dude. It's sick to see somebody like, he's not like hammer it down your throat Christian. He's just very righteous and like super spiritual. I fuck with that. So anyways, he was waiting for me and we opened beers. I hadn't even said anything to anyone yet. And Jed was like, buddy. And I was like, dude, I haven't seen you in fucking, he got voted off first in our tribe. So it had been like 6 days since I had seen him and he was all cleaned up.
He was still there in the.
He was. So when you get voted off, you get to hang out with everyone who got voted off.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's no like secrets that I can't reveal now. So it's been on the air for so long. Like you can Google and they'll show you.
I figured he just went home at that point.
No,
you know?
dude, you stay there because that's how it worked at the time. I don't know. Maybe now they send you home, but this is fucking 19 years ago, 18 years ago. So anyways, dude, I got there. Took that first shower. Drank beer and ate peanut butter and then ate other shit like frosted animal cookies. Another favorite thing of mine when I was in my 20s. They had them there for me.
Did you have all these things on your mind that you wanted to eat already?
Yeah. I was like,
I'm going to fuck with this. I'm going to get this.
I wanted Pita Jungle, which was from here.
Oh, I love Pita Jungle. I used to live right, like you
Apache.
can
see it from my apartment on 3rd Avenue Roosevelt.
So I don't even know where that location is. The original one I ever went to was on Apache. It's still there.
Yeah.
Now there's one by my parents. I've been eating at Pita Jungle now for 20 years. I figured out the other day.
Nice.
Since I was like in my like.
I didn't realize it was that old.
Dude, neither did I. And then I realized I was like, dude, I started eating there when I was like 20. Anyways, so I've still get the same thing there, and 20 years later, it still tastes exactly the same. Charbroiled chicken.
Consistency, huh?
Dude, consistency is so key in a restaurant for longevity.
Yeah.
Like if I go somewhere,
some of my favorite restaurants,
dude,
they always change up their shit.
That's fucking such a bummer, dude. Like if an entree is hitting at a restaurant and I go there just for that entree and it's a certain way one time I go there and I love it. Like let's say I go somewhere and I'm like, yo, I want a lobster roll, which is fucking delicious usually anywhere. You go get a lobster roll somewhere and it's fucking hitting, dude. The shit is fucking delicious. And then you go back like a month later and you want that same experience and the lobster roll sucks. That restaurant lost the customer because I'm like, I don't trust a place that can't fucking keep it together and have shit taste the same and have consistency. Like you gotta have it. Pita Jungle, shout out to Pita Jungle, fucking huge. Charbroiled chicken salad and their garlic dip. I've been eating it for 20 years. Still, I have tried to recreate. I'm a good cook. Tried to recreate their chicken at home. I've asked questions. I knew a dude who was a chef there for a while, a cook there.
I knew a cook too, the one on the 3rd Ave.
That's so sick. I knew the dude and I asked him, he's like, dude, the dressing for the salad is so easy. It's like lemon, olive oil, super healthy.
Yeah,
the coolest thing
is
is
healthy. Yeah,
dude, back in the day, like before there was like a health food craze really, Pita Jungle was like one of the OGs where my friends and I would go because you could get healthy food. And I mean, I was embarrassingly, dude, I was a model. So I was like worried about fucking being skinny.
No, dude. That's
so I was
not,
like,
I mean,
yeah,
we've had models on here. And shit
yeah,
before,
dude. So it was like eating healthy when I was a kid. I still eat fucking super healthy. I got a little fat during COVID, but I'm almost back to my.
Did you model before, like?
Yeah, before Survivor.
So you had aspirations for being a vocalist and.
Yeah, dude. I just anything creative,
right?
anything creative, dude. Is definitely. I've definitely always been into acting. I used to do productions for my whole family when I was a kid. I would like act in front of my family with my sister and my cousin Dana. And I don't know.
How did your family feel about like when you were on the show and stuff? And
they loved it, dude. My mom was like, it's inevitable. Like my mom always thought like I was the fucking brightest star in the sky. Yeah, but so yeah, man, my mom definitely was like, it's happening, honey. Like I knew it was gonna happen. My mom's the fucking best lady on earth.
Were you acting before that too?
No, dude. So I did a project out here called Falling Light with I can't remember the dude's name, but it was like, I mean, it was not a big production at all. It was we shot like 3 hours worth of scenes, and this is when shit was on film. Like it was before the digital age, which is, can you even imagine that, dude? It's 20 years ago, 18 years ago, like right before I did Survivor. Let's say 19 years ago. Fucking hell. It was on film. It was like in a tape.
Totally.
Like there was no digital, like there was no memory cards. Yeah. It wasn't like, oh, I can go and fucking do whatever. he shot the whole thing in slow-mo when he went back to watch it.
Like on
So-
accident?
On accident. So we shot for 3 hours and his camera was on slow-mo.
man.
The camera he was using was on slow-mo.
Yeah.
So he was pretty bummed about that.
Well, you
but,
know, at least you got that, on-set experience,
yeah,
you know.
100%. But I did that.
I learned more from the shitty sets than I've been on
100%.
than the fucking great sets.
Yeah,
I
'cause
learned
you
what
have-
not to do.
you
I
have
learned
more
who not
freedom.
to work with. I learned fucking...
On shitty sets, you can ask questions to people who are really passionate about stuff. You know what I mean? Not just people who, they don't have an ego yet because they haven't made it. It's like, you can be like, oh, dude, like, how did you guys do this? How'd you like that? Like, what are you doing for fucking, like, who dressed this? Like, where'd you guys get all these props? This is sick. And people,
That's my favorite shit in the world. I nerd out on all that
same,
stuff.
dude,
man.
100%. It's so sick. People are like, dude, like in LA, they're like, dude, I'll tell you there's a place called Valley Thrift in Los Angeles and it's in Sunland. And they have, well, years ago, like 5 or 6, like years ago, 5 or 6 years ago, it's still cheap. But dude, you could go there and get shirts for like $1.
Really?
I found some, like, I bought a vintage tuxedo jacket that I took to a tailor and got fitted to me. And for years, every time I wore it, people were like, dude, that jacket is so sick. It was $8.
Oh,
My alterations costed more than the jacket. But anyways, you could go there and buy lamps, tables, furniture.
Where's it at?
In Sunland. It's called Valley Thrift in Sunland, California.
Nice.
So anyways, I learned about that place from friends of mine who were fucking set designers, who were art department guys. And they're like, dude, go to Valley Thrift.
Of course they would know that.
Buy a couch. You can buy a couch for fucking $50. When you're done with it, put it in the fucking alley. Someone else will take it for free. So it was like, it's cool to know those things. And it's dope to be on shitty sets and to learn from people who are, maybe haven't made it yet, but just have just as much ability. It's fucking sick, dude.
Do you actively go on auditions or do you just
dude,
work with friend
So-
projects or
So dude,
do you have an agent?
yeah, for sure. I'm with, theatrically and commercially, I'm with the Lucre Agency. Shout out to Jimmy G, my agent, who, Amy Lucre, who owns the agency, is really rad. Jimmy, who's my, like, anytime, how, like, when you have reps, you'll have the agency you're with, and then you have the person who's submitting you, the person who's riding for you.
Yeah.
Jimmy G at Lucre is fucking, dude, since he came on, dude, I've had a self-tape a week, almost consistently, at least one self-tape a week for the past probably 6 months.
Oh, nice.
I bought a ring light. Like, I had to make my shit like legit in my room because I was like, holy fuck, self-tapes have become, I actually didn't even buy a ring light. My brother-in-law, who's fucking incredible, was like, dude, he's a motivational speaker. He's like, I have an extra one that's dope.
Let me ask you this: as an actor, do you like the videotape auditions better or going in person?
I feel like they get a lot better representation of what you've prepared for a character and the choices you've made in a self-tape. There's multiple times, like, in a room, like, dude, in an audition, dude, it's your time. Even though these people are fucking in a rush and you can see
Ultimately,
see
they're there for you, though.
they're there for you, man. They want you to be fucking, they want to see you do well. They
But
want to cast
personally, I
this thing.
fucking hate it, dude. And
Yeah,
it
being in the
just causes
room.
some anxiety. It just feels very
It's
unnatural.
100%, dude.
you know?
Everyone feels, just
everything about filmmaking and doing all that. I have
Awesome.
no problem with.
Yeah, but
that
auditioning is
fucking getting in front of 4 people behind a camera, and even just knowing
no
that-
emotion, and then they're like, thanks, no matter what you
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
Like, scenes I've had to cry and I've been like fucking poured my heart out, and I'm like,
Well, what's funny is what you said
And they're
earlier
like,
about
"Thank you."
your audition is usually like the ones you think you did shitty are the ones that like fucking
You get a
they
call back and
callback
you're like,
for, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, yeah, dude, 100%.
Totally.
Dude, it's funny, but dude, honestly, it's like people say in acting, you have to do the work. Nobody, like, friends of mine are like, how do you book stuff? And I'm like, get in a class, figure out what your fucking strengths are, figure out what characters you're going to play. Because if you're not into getting typecast, don't plan on working.
Yeah.
Like, people are like, oh, I don't want to be typecast. It's like, cool, man. Not everyone's like, it's very rare in someone's career to be a De Niro or a Pacino.
It's
or like,
gonna happen no matter what.
Even those dudes are typecast.
And once it happens, you just kind of have to run with it. I used to have long hair and a beard.
Yeah.
Dude, literally for 2.5 years, all I played was fucking bad guys, drug dealers, and
all I got
occasional
for.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's sick.
So, but I actually had cut my hair, and I kind of made a joke because they get that dad role money, you know what I mean? So I start playing dads here, but it also looks awesome on my reel to have that,
Yeah, that
versatility. But
contrast.
now
And the fucking to be able to have that versatility.
totally, yeah. And I
have one
typecast as
look, bald. It's like, I go out
yeah,
for
but
military.
you know what? That's a look that's needed.
It's
though.
dope, dude. I go out for
Yeah.
military. I go out for fucking cops. I go out for bad guys. I've read for. In 2019, I was pinned for 5 or 6 roles. I was like, I booked them and I didn't book them. So now anytime I get pinned for anything, I don't tell anybody. I take it seriously, but I don't, like, it's not I don't get fucking super excited about it.
You're
anymore.
not posting about it and all that bullshit.
I don't post, dude. It's just like having a relationship and keeping it the fuck off social media. People can do however people want to go about their human experience. I fuck with it. Like, good for you. But for me, like, anytime I'm dating a girl in my adult life, I think it's important. Like, I don't want people knowing my day-to-day like happenings of me and my chick. It's not anybody's business but ours. You know what I mean? That's just how I feel. I mean, you go on vacation with a girl, yeah, post a picture, be like, yo, look how fucking beautiful my girlfriend is. Let's celebrate her a little bit.
But you know how to post every shit you take.
Dude, the fucking selfies and fucking dinners and like, here, look at the fucking entrees we're eating. And here's the glasses of wine that we got in Napa. Like,
I have to be completely honest with you. I don't think if it wasn't for the podcast, I wouldn't even like be on Facebook. And
that's sick.
Because I just
that's admirable.
I feel like certain people listen to the clips because of Facebook, so it's like hard to get rid of that. Even though I fucking every day I think about getting rid of that motherfucker. You know?
Yeah, I mean? Dude, it's the biggest time waster in my life. I monitor my screen time a lot, and I see what apps I'm using the most. I deleted the Facebook app from my phone for a long time, but now
I deleted it, and then I just go to Google and log in through there.
Yeah, but dude, I have it. I belong to like multiple groups out here, and I booked like 3 or 4 photography gigs.
That's another thing. Yeah, there's certain acting gigs like, that you can only get on Facebook, and some of my highest paying ones. So I feel like you know, I'd be missing out.
Yeah,
that sucks.
That's same, dude. I can empathize with that 100%.
You can get comfy, dude, and I'll reframe it. It's all good.
What's up?
You can get comfy and bring the legs
dude,
on.
I'm straight.
So this is something I ask a lot of actors that come on the show. Mm-hmm. Do you have any audition horror stories where you just went in and it was a complete shit show disaster that you could share with us?
Do I? So, dude, I auditioned for fucking one of the MTV Movie Awards, and the audition was a commercial for MTV Movie Awards, and basically I was fucking supposed to rob this grandma, and then the host, who I can't remember who it was at the time, probably like Chris Rock or somebody, was gonna come and fucking like fucking beat me up, so save this grandma from being fucking robbed. Oh my god, the story is so it's a short story, but it was one of the worst days of my life, dude. So during the audition, the guy had to tell me the breakdown like 5 times. I would walk to the wrong mark. I could see he was getting frustrated. Then I finally got it, and he's like, okay, that was great, let's do it again, do it exactly like that. So he's like, this time he's like, you know, like, you really want to scare this lady, like you're robbing her. So this lady is legitimately old that I'm auditioning with. Like, she's probably in her 80s, dude, maybe late 70s. Full head of white hair, just this cute, like beautiful little old lady, dude. And I grabbed her and I was like, give me your purse. And she screamed, dude, like bloody murder, like, ah! And the guy was like, okay, that was great, guys. Thank you. And she stood there holding her arm and she's like, you really hurt me. And then I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And dude, I'm sensitive as a fucking toothache. I was like, I'm so sorry. And I like tried to hug her and she's like, you really hurt me. And I was like, holy fuck. I awkwardly I didn't want my, I know, it's fucking hilarious. Dude, I've told the story.
I'm imagining this in my head and it's all on camera.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's all on camera. I would pay.
That'd be funny if you got the role from those lines.
Dude, that shit's been thrown away years ago. But dude, I would pay thousands of dollars to see this. So anyways, dude, after this happens, I get my car keys and my cell phone that are like sitting on the floor in the casting room, pick them up. I don't even feel like I'm fucking breathing at this point. I'm like, what the fuck is this life even? I'm completely having a full panic attack because I'm like, this lady freaked out on me. I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right, guys. I walk outside and I'm standing in the room and I'm about to leave. And the old lady walks out and her fucking son meets her. And her son's like probably 40. And he's this big fucking fat dude where you can tell his mom is like a commercial actor. And her son probably still lives at home and drives her around.
Yeah, totally.
And I see him talking. They're like talking to each other. And she points at me and she's like, he hurt me. So she can like see me. She's like, he hurt me. And I look at the dude and I'm like, yo, dude, like we're like 20 feet away from each other. I'm like, I'm really sorry. And he death stares me, dude. I mean, dude, he's this little fat dude. He pretty much looked at me like, I'm going to go threaten this dude, but I don't want to die. Do you know what I mean?
Well, he's like,
which sucks.
He's with his mom. He feels like he has to do something,
dude.
but he probably doesn't want to, you know?
No, but so I walked over and I go, dude, look, man, I'm fucking really sorry. I'm I've only ever been in acting class. I'm like, I just fucking made a choice. And I was like trying to explain it to him. And he's like, dude, I don't care. She's a fucking old lady. Why would you ever grab an old lady like that? And I had no answer for him. I was like, I don't know. I have no fucking idea why I did that. And I was like, sweet. So needless to say, I didn't book that one.
Fuck.
That one was a miss. Went home and I was like, what am I doing? I drove the whole way home. This was when castings
That's
were,
when you're fucking debate
should I quit? Like this fucking sucks.
Debating your whole acting career.
Yeah, I'm like, what am I even doing with, like, is this something I want to do? This fucking sucks.
yeah.
Like, they didn't pay me to go here.
Yeah, exactly.
And at the time, the casting office was on 2050 South Bundy in Santa Monica. And it was like an hour at least drive each way with traffic on the 405. So I had to fucking mope the whole way home in bumper to bumper traffic, like 5 o'clock, like peak 405 traffic, driving home, thinking about how this fucking poor dude and his mom went home and he was probably like,
fuck that
guy.
Yeah.
Dude, fuck that guy. Yeah. But so that was a gnarly commercial one. First time I read for Mark Teschner on, read for him recently. I submitted a self-tape for him recently. Actually, he offered me a role recently. That was under 5. It was just a guest star. And then something else, they went in a different direction. But that was pretty exciting a couple weeks ago, like a month ago. Anyways, short story long. First time I auditioned for Mark Teschner, have my sides. I fucking coached for this role. I'm going to be on a soap opera, guys. Like, remember me. Go into the room. It's at fucking CBS Studios, or is that not CBS Studios? It was at the Warner Brothers lot. I'm sorry, it's at Paramount. You know where that, it's like down that hill. It's like kind of,
I've honestly never auditioned on those lots.
Okay, so it's oddly,
that's awesome,
it's
dude.
oddly placed. The Paramount lot, like you walk in here, like there's like 2 entrances. There's like the main front one where you drive through the gates that everyone's seen.
Yeah,
it's
I've
like
seen
the
that,
Paramount thing. And then there's like the side gate where you park. You go in. This audition, I went through the front. I mean, I've been there probably 5 times since. First time I read for Teschner, cut to the chase. I get in his office. He stands up and he's disabled. Like he kind of has a limp. So he kind of like limps past me and closes the door. And I'm like, what the fuck? Then he has me sit down. And I'm like, it's my first audition where I've ever had to sit down. And it's like an office, dude. There's like a desk. Like this dude conducts his business. It's like a real office, not an audition, like not a casting studio. So I'm like, fuck, dude, I can feel my heart. It's like, I'm like, holy fuck, dude, this is like a big deal. I'm totally gonna fuck this up. Like I'm about to fucking like horrifically shit the bed. And I know it because I'm like, what's the character's name? I don't fucking know. What's the first line? I have no fucking idea. So I'm like shaking, looking at my sides, and they're highlighted. And I'm like, just change the page, and I'm like, and he's like, okay. So he's reading for a girl. I'm reading for a guy. I open up. I start the audition. I'm glancing at my sides. I completely get lost on the page. I'm still kind of winging it. Then I just decide I'm going to improvise. So while he's reading my reaction, I'm like, fuck this. Like I literally swear. And he sat back in his chair and went, he's like, okay, I think that was good. He's like, good job, or whatever. He doesn't even say that. He's like, thank you, Rob. I appreciate it. Doesn't stand up. I walk to the door, open the door. Like I fiddle with the door. I walk out to my car. I'm like, what am I even doing this for? This was the worst experience of my fucking life. Yeah.
Those are definitely two.
It was
the ones where you
was
are shaking like this are the worst,
dude.
I've been
They
ones
say
where I
like
shake that
they say to
bad.
shake it out and like take a deep breath, but nothing. Once you start shaking, it's like you're in your head and it's gone, and it happens, dude. And this is what's cool is to work.
But obviously you're working with him, or you've been able to audition.
I've been able to.
since.
I've read for him probably. So that was in like 2007, probably. I read for him then. I've read for him since then. I read for him 2 other times, and then he's cast a lot of people from the Lucre Agency. So I guess in the history of the Lucre Agency, they have a good relationship with him. So he offered me like a guest star role, but he wanted to see more tape of me.
Can you just explain to people who don't know who he is?
He's Mark Teschner's. He's basically he's the dude who casts. He fucking casts General Hospital. It's what he does, and it's what he's done for 30 years. Like the dude he's the dude. He's the guy who puts people in General Hospital, basically.
And how long did you have your sides for?
I mean, dude.
Like, did you have them memorized and then you just forgot them when you were there?
Yeah, I had them memorized. Like, you should always have them memorized. But I mean, I had them memorized, but they completely
the nerves took over. Yeah,
dude, it just went to shit. I was just like, I couldn't catch up myself. I think I had like the standard 2 days. Like usually with an audition, dude, it's you get it the night before and it's the auditions the next day.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
So it's like, they'll send you. They're like, oh, quick audition for so and so, and here are the sides. Sometimes you click on the sides and you're like, sick. It's 2 pages, easy. And then other times you're like, this is fucking 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 or 11 pages of sides. And even though I might only have 10 lines, it's all the fucking emotion. And it's it's a big, you know what's up, dude.
Totally.
So, dude,
that's a lot of work. People don't realize.
People, well, dude. So, like,
especially like you said, sometimes you get the fucking night before, and you got to go in the next day at like 1.
Yeah,
but you already had your morning planned out, so you're like, "Fuck, when the fuck do I have time to?"
And dude, I was also bartending in LA for a time, so it was like I'd have to go close a bar.
And acting is like one of the few jobs where you have to apply for a job almost every day.
And here,
your jobs, it could be as short as one single day, where if it's a commercial, to 3 to 6 months if you get like a good feature or something.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And it's you hear a lot of no's, and it's definitely not.
That's why I think it's a numbers game. That's why I look at it. So like for every 100 no's, there's the yes. So I don't. Dude, I almost expect the no's. Just
always. Again, dude, I don't get excited. I don't get excited for huge auditions anymore. Like I read for Victor Zaz for Batgirl. I was up for that. Like I read with just only a few other people. Turned in what I thought was a fucking really good tape. Didn't hear anything. I don't get excited for shit like that anymore because it's like
you keep that shit up, dude. Something is gonna hit.
100%. Like me moving back to LA next month, I'm jumping right back into my ongoing class with all the same. Like there's still people in it that were my scene partners, and I'm looking forward to it because honestly, like what we were talking about, which Burke would tell you, he's a unbelievably talented actor. Super fucking. I mean, dude, the guy is. He's great. He's a great character actor. Anyways, what actors will tell you, what you know is the work is auditioning and going to class. You have to do the work. Mm-hmm. Once you book a fucking movie, dude, like once you're on set, it's fucking amazing, dude.
Oh, totally.
It's still stressful. Like I get before scenes, like, dude, like getting character and like thinking about all the choices I'm going to make and like really gelling. And then, you run a rehearsal and then it's like, you got to shoot it every different fucking way. So you have 20 times to hit your lines.
And then, but after you film it and you feel good about it, there's no better feeling.
No, like I just made something.
Fucking wow.
I just worked on a project. This is actually a really fucking cool story. I worked on a short film.
If you could I'm sorry. Dude.
Sorry, dude. I worked on a short film in New Mexico in the end of May. At the end of May, it's a couple months ago. Called Two Roads, directed by Michael Trevino, starring Michael Malarkey, Gracie Mercedes, and Ian Fisher. Ian Fisher actually helped write the film. Brilliant fucking Canadian actor, dude. Dude is so super talented. Michael Malarkey is like on a whole other level as far as actors go. Definitely the most talented person I've worked with. The heaviest. He's on everything. Like the dude's he was on Vampire Diaries. He's been in so many programs. He's on some show that's about to come out now. I always forget the name of it. Anyways, dude, long story short, he's a super hardcore metalhead. So immediately he and I were like,
hell yeah.
He and I were talking about bands that we liked and like obscure cuts. Like there's an album called Sunbather that I'm fucking blanking right now on the
Don't you hate that?
Yeah, on the band, but the band's called Sunbather. The band's not called Bad Dream House. I can't remember what the fuck they're called. Anyways, dude, there's an album called Sunbather and it's such an incredible, it's like almost like post-rock and hardcore because there's songs that are just instrumental and it's just fucking huge, dude. It's so good. And we talked about it and he knew about who they were, which most people are like, who the fuck is this?
And when you find someone that's into a band that no one knows about, you're like
dude,
this dude you're friends
immediately, dude. You're like, this dude has sick taste. Yeah. So he and I immediately like got down on that. We had a killer rehearsal and then working with him, I was like, I learned it's amazing just from this short film experience. It's only filmed for like 3 or 4 days. How much I learned on that set.
Just watching him do his process?
Dude, because I was telling him, I was like, dude, I get nervous. I always keep my sides around me. And he's like, dude, my sides are next to me. He's like, dude, and this is what he said. That was so fucking dope. And it's completely how I've always felt. But to have that affirmation, like, to hear somebody else say it, it's sick. And he said, he's like, acting is fucking embarrassing, dude. You're playing pretend, dude. He goes, it's fucking embarrassing. You're doing something. Like you're exposing a part of yourself. You know what I mean? Like you prepare something, you're creating something.
You're allowing yourself to be vulnerable.
100%
in front of
super
a huge
vulnerable
group of people.
And you're doing it in front of a group of people. And it's like, you're putting yourself out there. You're vulnerable. And it's heavy, dude. And it's fucking embarrassing.
It is.
So, and every actor, this is what's crazy. Every actor, even like huge actors, like if you read about it, they're always worried that they're not good enough. And they're, I mean, aside from people like Pacino and De Niro, who knows, maybe those dudes get that way too. But as an actor, you can never feel like it's a bummer that you don't think you're going to be good enough, because that's how everyone feels.
Well, I think
it's honestly, I think it's par for the course.
I think what it is too is, I'm sure you do this, and most actors I talk to, I think, say this is, no matter how well you do on a project or a scene, that drive home, you're always like, man, I should have did it like this.
100%.
Done it like that.
Yeah. I don't like watching my dailies, dude.
Yeah.
I don't like seeing daily stuff. Like, I don't want to see how it's lit or how it looks, because that's other people's jobs.
That's why it's just really important to have a director that, and a crew that you can trust to allow yourself to really open up like that, but have the director pull good performances out of you. Dude, that's one of the problems here in Phoenix. I don't know how much you've worked out here.
I've done zero things in Phoenix.
Fucking no directors out here ever direct. Yeah, and I'm like, as a director, I want to be directed. You know what I mean? So it's like
what Jack Nicholson said is,
it's like, just that's it. It's like, is it good? Is it bad? Like, just tell it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, say something.
Yeah,
do something.
Give
me
I'm
direction.
not saying be like, yeah, that was awesome every time.
No,
just be like,
dude, I don't need the pat on the back. Good, moving on.
I just want to know, like,
give me
something. I don't give a fuck.
Like, give me direction.
Yeah, direction.
You're a director.
Exactly. Yeah.
Jack Nicholson said, he's like, dude, his goal as an actor was to be completely directable. Like, you basically need to show up as like a fucking lump of clay and have this director create a story, and he's telling it through you. So do your job, but also, director, do your job. Direct me. Yeah. Tell me what I'm doing. Like, the coolest thing about this experience was that Michael Trevino is a fucking, he's on every season of The Vampire Diaries. He's been in films, and now he's one of the heavy hitters on the show Roswell. He's a friend of mine, but I still had to earn the role. So it wasn't like, oh, I have this idea, I want to put my buddy in this film. He had me play Dylan in this short film. Fantastically written short film, unfucking believably, such a cool story. And it's basically what we're talking about now. It's well, not really, but it's about how this guy is basically, the story opens up, a guy's a musician and he's playing for nobody. There's 3 people in the crowd. One of the people is his girlfriend. And then his best friend is also a girl, and he talks to her, and he's like, sometimes I reminisce and I wonder, like, what would my life be like if I stayed on a normal path? Like, I was good with numbers. I could have been an accountant. And she's like, would you have been happy? And he's like, yeah, I'd probably feel fulfilled. Maybe, who knows? So then they go through the first stage of his life, and then they show the parallel universe where what his life would have been if he made the other choice. And so
that's fucking genius, dude.
Dude, it's honestly,
who wrote and directed?
So it's written and directed by Michael Trevino and Ian Fisher. Oh, wow. Dude,
when is it
telling the story.
Can I watch it now? Did it?
No, dude, it'll be out in about a year. But telling you the story gave me chills. And watching the first time I read the script, I was like, dude, it's my friend. I'm not a dick rider, dude. I'll tell like my homies, like, dude, I gas my friends up humongously. If someone's doing something, I'm like, yo, like, you're killing it. Like,
that's
fucking,
how I am. Like,
yeah,
I
so
really
important.
believe in that.
Yeah, gas your friends up, dude. It's the most important thing you do.
Yeah.
But you also have to be criticize people, but don't be critical. So it's honest, dude. Be honest. I was honest with him. I'm like, Mike, this is one of the best fucking scripts I've ever read, and it's a short film. I'm like, it's perfect that it's not an hour and a half long.
Yeah. How long is it?
Like
about?
30 or 40 minute runtime, I think.
Yeah.
But dude, the coolest thing is, I'm like, Mike, it's very rare that I read for something where they give me the whole script and I'm like, I read it more than once. I read the script like 4 times in the first day I got it, because I was like, fuck, dude, this feels like a real situation. It felt genuine. It felt true. I was like, I can't fucking wait I was so gassed up. Like, I can't wait to be a part of this project.
Yeah, that sounds very.
And I told dude, his pitch deck, he sent, like, when I told him, I was like, bro, I'm like, Mike, let's fucking go, dude. Like, we're about to make this fucking, like, this is like one of the coolest things I'm ever going to be a part of, because I believe in it so much. And then obviously, like I said, I learned from the actors who are casting it, and it's just fucking dope, dude.
It's rare that you could get involved in projects that, where you really love the script that fucking much.
You're like really, really intrigued and attached to it. So Mike directed the film, and he's good at directing, dude. He's been directed so many times. He just had this fucking bravado, dude, on set, like, where it was his fucking set, dude, and he would see things, and it's fucking great when you do a scene and you make your choices and you say, like, you hit a line, you're like, there's one line where I'm like, I'm like, fuck, man, I hope I'm at least fucking 50% of the way done with life. fucking tired of this shit. Anyways, man, fuck 30. And he's like, dude, he's like, so the end of that, he's like, it was great. He's like, but you're kind of throwing away that line, fuck 30. He's like, hit that. Like it's a
that's fucking great direction.
Yeah.
Right
like
there.
he's like, it's a
so
statement.
tuned in to literally every word.
100%.
You know?
Yeah, sick. But at the end of it, he's like, so that's the end of the sentence, dude. Like, make it a statement. So I did it. You know, I was like, so obviously I redid the thing, and then I was like, fuck 30. Like, let's fucking move, let's go. And the cool thing was, which I've been fortunate that the most of the project I've worked on, there's wiggle room with the script where if you feel something in a scene, you can make choices, you can improvise.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a lot of fun.
Did
dude.
you guys have rehearsals?
Yeah, we had the day before, he rented the hotel that we stayed in was unreal. The Chaco in New Mexico. Everything's shooting in New Mexico now, by the way.
You guys like blocking and stuff, or was it just more dialogue stuff?
It was straight dialogue, and then he had it filmed. They're doing a documentary about him doing this too, because he's obviously a full-time actor. But
I love the behind the scenes and makings of movies sometimes
more than the movie. 100%.
Yeah,
dude, I honestly like.
That's why I love Guillermo del Toro, because he has like 40, 50 hours of behind the scenes footage of like fucking Hellboy and all that shit.
I've never even seen that shit. I would love to see that. Yeah. He's fucking awesome.
Oh fuck yeah. Dude.
Guillermo del Toro was
bad motherfucker.
He was dude. He's so sick. He did so many good movies. I loved Hellboy, but I also Pan's Labyrinth.
Great. Fuck yeah,
great
Pan's
movie.
Labyrinth. Yeah.
Great movie.
Yeah, he's an OG. So this film is it going to drop in 2022 and then just do the film festival?
It's a 22 project. It's a 22 release. I mean, for this project. Yeah, dude. He and I have spoken briefly. It's obviously none of my business where he's going to submit it to. He and I both are fucking humongous snowboarders. Like, spend a lot of time on the hill. So obviously, I'm really fucking hoping he submits to Sundance, just because it's always been a dream of mine since I went to Sundance.
That'd be badass.
I've been to Sundance like 4 times, dude. Have friends in movies out there, and the experience is fucking dope. But going to movies during the day, I saw Napoleon Dynamite a year before it came out.
Yeah.
And I was like,
before it was even bought, probably.
Holy fuck, dude. Yeah. And then I was like, this is the funniest movie I've ever seen. And then the next year, Pedro stayed with us. Like, Pedro was the homie, Efren Ramirez. He stayed at our place. Dude's a fucking homie. He did for my friend's other clothing company, Tank Farm, the Anderson brothers. He did, he was in a bunch of their ads as Pedro.
Really?
Yeah. And they didn't, dude, they gave him free gear and like paid him. He didn't have some stupid ask. It was sick. So after Napoleon Dynamite came out, I was kind of right on the heels of Survivor, which was cool. And I did a kickball tournament for some charity that was at the Hollywood Palladium. My Survivor team went against Mean Machine, which was Terry Crews, Tito Ortiz. Fuck, I can't remember who else. I got eliminated like almost right away. It was
some big motherfuckers.
It was embarrassing, but no, I ran up to grab a dodgeball, threw a dodgeball at Terry Crews, and somebody hit me in the face, which I didn't. I thought you were out if you got hit in the face, but you're not. They have to hit you in the body, apparently. Because I got hit in the face, then I was like, I dropped my guard and started to walk off and got hit in the body. And they were like, dude, you were still in it. But so anyways, so I played with them and then kind of fucking got to talk to Terry Crews. Tito Ortiz and I fucking exchanged phone numbers. For a while, my friends printed Team Punishment clothing shirts, which was sick. I fucking went to the Scorpion in Orange County and
hung
out
with
with
OG UFC.
Dude, I'll say this. Tito is fucking, he is such a good dude. And it's really shitty like how towards the end of his career,
it's because of the fucking
politics,
dude.
No, but it's also because he's a
hardcore right winger,
hardcore Trump supporter, and people gave him shit for it. But also Jenna Jameson, if you watch his story, his 30 for 30 with Chuck Liddell is so. Dude, I watch 30 for 30s.
Is that a new one
all the time? No, it's an old one.
Oh, I think I've seen that.
So, dude, if
30 for 30 is just an amazing fucking program.
Peak programming.
Even things I'm not even into.
100%.
It's.
I watch them,
and then I want to go do that sport of whatever they just talked about.
I agree 100%. I watch the 30 for 30 on fucking tennis. I watch the 30 for 30 on race car drivers. Like you name it.
I watch fucking badminton.
Yeah, you'd be into it. You'd be like, dude, I want to go fucking hit a birdie around or whatever they're called.
You fucking do shit in slow mo and add like cool music though. It just looks so dramatic.
And dude, and have it. Just the interviews are fucking. The pacing is just
like on, especially with football. Like, because I don't watch sports at all. Yeah. But I would if they played the mics of the players on field with all the shit talking, and they can't. And the 30 for 30, sometimes they do. You know
it's
what
so
I mean?
good.
And you're just like,
and he's like, you hear him. He's like, you see this motherfucker holding me? Yeah, while they're going to the huddle, and then he's like, "I told you, man.
I know they should
quit holding my jersey. I'm gonna fuck you up."
Yeah, have some cable channel with that shit on it. You know what I mean?
Well, dude, I will
would
tell
watch
you
it all the time.
the 30 for 30 I watched that was super interesting that I learned something from was the one for the XFL.
Oh yeah.
Did you watch that?
I don't think I've seen that one, but I know the story a little bit.
The NFL got a lot of their ideas for camera work from the XFL.
Shit.
Yeah, dude, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So yeah, Vince McMahon, dude, fucking guy's an
innovator and shit.
Innovator, bro.
How long have you? Okay, I need to save I have some special just questions. It's only like 10, 15 minutes
dude,
for the Patreon. For our Patreon.
Sick.
But,
Patreon. I actually support.
I didn't want to ask 2 just quick questions before we wrap on the regular Getting Blunt with Keith.
Sure.
Just first about your photography.
Yeah, dude.
If you can plug your website.
Yeah, dude. So my website is rjlaphoto.com.
Okay. So what's your favorite kind of stuff to shoot? I know you do headshots and stuff like that, but you just
I love shooting lifestyle photos.
Yeah.
Out here I've shot a lot of real estate. I've shot sports, which I was new to me. And I shot families. I mean I can shoot landscapes and I can shoot boring shit and make it interesting to me, like do long exposures and have fun with stuff like that. I really enjoy shooting people, obviously, because it's lifestyle photos and headshots. It's interesting to me to make somebody comfortable enough to where, just like being an actor, they're vulnerable. Having your picture
open up.
Yeah, dude, having your picture taken fucking sucks. I'm a photographer.
That's the
and
other
an
part
actor.
It sucks about acting is getting headshots and all that shit, like just posing and doing all
yeah,
that.
it's like I always feel like I'm like, what am I doing with my face right now? Who knows? I mean, I'll see it when I get the pictures back. But it's fucking, you know what I mean? It's like I feel like
you
I'm
take
doing
1,000 of them, 2 of them will look dope, right?
Yeah, they got to have one of them where I accidentally made a face that like someone wants me to use my headshot, because I don't ever make that choice. But shooting people's dope, giving people directing, giving people direction, being like, and having them take it in. And then I'm not usually somebody like, my turnaround when I shoot headshots, I'll send people the untouched images the day of the shoot, like whatever ones I'm gonna edit. I want to be like, all right, here's the 20 best pictures from your 100 pictures or 200 pictures I took. I don't just send them all of them because it's stupid.
Yeah, totally.
So I'll send people like 20 to 30 pictures, nice pictures, good
and
pictures.
They just pay for the edits? And
then I usually include my edits in my rate, in my headshot rate. I'll do like, if somebody gets like 3 looks, so 3 looks for, I'm super cheap, 3 looks for $400, I'll edit like 6 pictures, fully retouched, eyes brightened, teeth whitened, smile lines removed or softened, blemishes removed, skin even toned. Like, I spend a lot of time editing. That's where the art comes into it for me, like really. So yeah, I think shooting lifestyle photos, me being able to have an idea and somebody being on board with it, and then me being able to produce it and make it happen, fucking my most favorite way to shoot. Like, there's a hip hop artist named Marty the Party in LA. I shot him at the beach, and I had this idea to have somebody throw water on him.
I saw that photo. It looks sick.
Thanks, dude.
I love all those creative style of photos.
Dude. It
seems all goofy while you're doing it.
Nah,
Same thing with acting.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
But then
anything cool is, you have to put yourself out there.
Totally.
So,
I
dude,
love that shit, dude.
Those pictures turn out sick. And dude, big shout to Marty the Party right now on Spotify. So 2 weeks ago, I went and shot his premiere party for this single called You and Me Anywhere. Dude, my friend made a hit song, and I'm so proud of him.
Nice.
And it's definitely a summer, like really bubbly.
It's a summer jam.
It's a summer jam, dude, and I'm so fucking proud of him. And dude, he's got like
he like raps and shit, or
25,000. No, he's completely fucking independent. He's got 25,000 plays on Spotify.
No, I mean he's a rapper.
He's a rapper, but he's like he raps, but it's I don't know. He's like kind of like Post Malone.
Oh, so yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he doesn't sing like Post Malone. He doesn't.
That's what you're saying.
He would tell you straight up he doesn't have Post Malone's voice, but he has his own, again, like I was talking about.
He knows, talented as fuck. Post
he
Malone
knows, like he knows, Marty knows his range, and his delivery and his cadence when he raps is really cool, and it's like a cool vibe. And this song's fucking dope. I'm proud of my boy. But I shot him in LA, and it's been 2 weeks, and he's got 20,000 plays on Spotify. And I'm like, dude, and he's a nobody. Nobody knows, like, this is all from his friends listening to it, and now like it's on playlists, and people have reached out to him, and like he's like, dude, it's gonna happen for me.
I fucking love hearing that shit, because music is so like the hardest.
It's the hardest thing. Yeah.
To just succeed in, you know.
Yeah. So is acting. Fuck. Holy shit.
Well, you know what, dude? I spent like my entire life in bands, and you know, doing the band thing. and I've actually spent more money on just, paying for recordings, band rehearsal studios, like band rent, upgrading
Dude,
equipment.
I did it.
Literally within like the first year in acting, I already made more money than I'd made my entire music career.
It was profitable.
Yeah, you
Dude,
actually
music
make
is
money off of it.
It's like a passion project when you're doing music. 'Cause
Totally.
initially, you're jamming with your friends, and you're like, maybe somebody might want to hear this song.
Yeah.
This is a cool song.
Yeah.
Play it for your friends, and they're like, "This is dope." And then
Yeah.
you play it for someone else, and they're like, "Cool." And then you're like, "Cool." Now, no one, the only people who've listened to our song, the only people are our friends, and friends of friends. And then you're like, "Well, what do we do now?"
Start playing shows.
What's that?
Start playing shows.
Yeah. Then you're like, well, obviously, then you play shows, and then you're like, get a response. But it's like there's so much involved in it, and
Being in a
fun.
band's the worst, dude. It's like having 4 extra girlfriends that not only are you fucking bickering and fighting with, but then they fight with each other and you're in the middle and you're just like, what the fuck?
And
like,
it's all that energy. It's all the creative ideas just battling it out in the room.
I wasted so much time in my life being in bands with people who were just had no ambition or just didn't
just super talented people with no drive,
the baddest
no drive.
motherfuckers ever,
dude.
But absolutely no drive, and you're just like, what the fuck,
dude? So I listen to this podcast called The Bomb Hole, really dope podcast, snowboarding podcast. But what they talk about all the time is like the working snowboarders, like the dudes who don't necessarily have the most talent, but they're the hardest working ones, like Sage Kotzenberg. He's a dude who won an Olympic gold like in Sochi like 5 years ago. And how he's like, his brother was a way better snowboarder than him, but Sage wanted it more. It's work ethic, 100%. I get it. I knew where you're going, but dude, it's the same thing in bands. Like, there's people who have drive. Like, dude, goals without action are dreams.
But snowboarding is easier because you're by yourself. When you're in a band, you're only as good as that weakest link.
100%. But also, there's so many talented musicians who are like, I'm just gonna sleep till 2 p.m. and fucking.
But I think it's like that with everything. The best people will everything will never hear about because they're fucking lazy. Does that make sense? Most of the people are just really fucking have a lot of drive, and
the people with the most drive are the ones who succeed, dude.
Yeah.
It's in anything in life. You think about like the saying that I always go back to also, and I think about this on a daily basis. It's why I make my bed. But how you do anything is how you do everything. It's a fact. Yeah. If you're lazy in one part of your life, believe it or not, dude, you're lazy in probably most of them. You could be doing more. And dude, I'm guilty of this. I'm fucking still, all of us are a work in progress till the moment we're in the grave. But it's like, there's things I think about every day where I'm like, okay, I need to stop doing this. And then I work towards it. Yeah, and I mean, it's sick. That's cool. It's growth. That's like what's important to me.
Yeah.
That's how I feel successful.
Just always working on yourself.
Always working on myself. And also, I mean, I think if we measured our success by how much we could help people, the world would be a better place. Anytime I've ever been in a really good place in my life, I'm able to help other people. Not even necessarily only financially, but like with everything. Like you're in the right emotional state where you can shine, you can share some of your light with one of your friends who's in a dark place. It's like when you're doing well, I think success is based on your ability to help other people. If you're super successful, well, that's like you're in a dope spot, help somebody. Yeah. That's like how you should. I mean, that's how I feel.
That's the shit that stays around like after you die. It's not the shit that you buy or do or get while you're successful. Yeah. It's like what you
the people
do
you've
with
touched
it and the people you've touched. Yeah.
If you could positively impact someone's life. My sister the other day told me, she's like, next weekend's my nephew's 21st birthday, and she said the only thing he cares about is that his dad and his uncle are there. And I mean, fuck, I hope his other uncles don't listen to this, but he has other uncles. But he's like, the only thing I care about is if Uncle Rob and my dad are there. I don't care what we do. And my sister's like, dude, I got teary-eyed because it's literally his 21st birthday. He can do whatever he wants. Kid's also a Division I basketball player who's never had a drink in his life. He's gonna be a professional basketball player like his dad was.
Is he gonna drink that night?
We haven't talked about it. I don't think so. I think he's just I think he's in a place in his life where he doesn't think that it would positively impact anything he's doing. And he doesn't.
That sounds like a smart kid,
dude. It's fucking.
Dude, if I didn't party so hard in my 20s, dude,
I always think about it too. I'm like, what else? Where have I been? But you wouldn't be doing this. And it's like again, just like the movie Two Roads.
Yeah, you're right.
The coolest fucking thing is seeing the flip side of the coin in that movie.
You're right.
And he still isn't happy. It's just like, oh fuck.
Well,
It's
I
just
made
like
that
being
jump.
fulfilled.
I had a shitty fucking 9 to 5 insurance job that every day when I left, I wanted to drive onto incoming traffic.
Yeah, dude.
And fucking,
That's no way to live your life.
But then the acting thing came up, and I was just luckily getting actually just extra roles and getting paid as an extra. I was like,
dude,
this
extra
is
works.
fun.
My friend makes that's all my friend does.
Oh yeah, in LA you can do that shit every fucking day.
There's
through,
background
like,
actors
casting
that
networks.
there's
I'm signed up for all that shit, dude. I still get all
LA
those
casting.
Yeah, I get all those messages and shit.
Yeah.
Still, yeah.
Dude, there's background actors who own houses.
But what I was gonna say is I quit the job and then just was like, let me just try this acting thing. Luckily got an agent and shit.
Yeah.
Got some very just lucky like high paying gigs and shit.
Sick.
And then I was like, you know what, I'm never gonna go back to this 9 to 5 shit. And it was stressful doing that, but it wasn't that same kind of stress that I was having during that 9 to 5. You know what I mean? It's like
100%.
it was a completely it's like I just felt free in a sense, you know what I mean?
It's the most freeing thing to get into a situation where you can pursue something that you're passionate about and make money from it. It's like, holy fuck. Totally. For me, I was always a hobbyist as a photographer. I've shot pictures forever. When I got paid from Survivor, the first thing I bought, camera. I bought a Canon digital elf. It could shoot video. Fucking hilarious. I look at the resolution of it now. It is laughable, but there was nothing better.
At the time, it was the shit.
Dude, it shot like 720p maybe. I don't even know. But it was this little teeny camera, and it shot video, and it shot still images. And I could fuck with the exposure time, and like, you know, the aperture was set, but I was into it. So I was always a hobbyist. Then, I mean, I know we're hustling for time. I'll tell you the short version of it. Basically, my girlfriend was on a show called Flesh and Bone. Rachel Diane Weiner, really pretty actress. She kills it. She was years ago before she quit acting. Now she's like an EMT, but she was doing really well as an actress. And then she moved to Canada. And while we were together, I had really shitty headshots taken of me that I paid a lot of money for. And my agents were
That's the worst.
Yeah.
Most of them are shitty.
Dude. So my agents were like, my manager, Darren Simons, who shout out to Darren Simons and Mandalay Entertainment, Cohesive Entertainment Group, my reps. Darren is unbelievable. She's such a pistol. She looked at me. She's like, dude, these suck. You need to ask this person to reshoot your headshot. So I asked the lady to reshoot my headshot. She's super fucking rude. She's like, well, you fucking blah, blah, blah. She had every excuse in the book. I'm like, I shoot photos too. A lot of these are really blown out. Like the highlights are, once you shoot a photo too bright, you'll never get any of the information back. You can always take shadows out and like throw highlights back in. You can't do the opposite.
You can't go back.
It looks like shit because there's no saturation. It's just white. So anyways, I got really shitty headshots taken of me. My girlfriend Rachel was like, you shoot such good photos of other shit. I was like, dude, yeah, I'm going to buy the right focal length for portrait. So I literally Googled like, what's the best focal length for taking portraits of people? Bought the focal length. It's anywhere between basically like 70 and 100 is pretty solid. You can definitely shoot great portraits at any of those focal lengths. I kind of hover in the middle of there. I won't tell you my exact focal length where I shoot pictures because
is that like a secret recipe?
No, I'm just kidding. No. But I mean, when I shoot, people will ask me like, "What were your settings when you shot this?" And I tell them,
like, "Fuck you."
No, I'll tell people, like, whatever, man. I'm like, go compose it, go make something. I want to see what you do with that information. I fucking Googled everything. I'm completely self-taught, every step of the way. Anyways, long story short, I bought this super shitty, like f(6). So f-stop 6 doesn't let a ton of light in. You don't get any blurred background. And I shot some headshots of her. And her reps, she was with 3 artists. Her reps, the guy was like, I want to see this full set. These are great. And I was like, babe, this dude emailed me. She's like, yeah, he asked me for your email. I was like, okay. He asked for the full set. I'm like, Rachel, we shot 5 pictures of you. He's seen half of them. What's a full set? And she goes, we need to shoot more. And I'm like, well, I'm glad you didn't cut your hair. Because she was about to cut all her hair off again. And I was like, all right, so wear the same outfit, went back to the same place, the same time of day. I fucking shot like 40 pictures of her and sent them to her. Sent the pictures of the guy, and he immediately started sending me headshot work.
Wow.
So it was like, I was like, holy. But it's like prep. It's, you know, like Robert Evans said, one of my favorite books of all time is The Kid Stays in the Picture. And he says, luck is opportunity meeting preparation.
Oh, I love that quote, dude.
It's the truth, dude.
Yeah,
Think
totally.
about it.
Oh, no.
So I was prepared because I know how to I knew how to do stuff. And then I got better and better. Dude, when I first started shooting headshots, I charged like $50 for like three hours because I still couldn't believe people wanted to pay me to shoot pictures. And then it was like, I started shooting photos where people were like, dude,
And then you're also probably getting better. And
I was getting better where people like, these are really good. And then I would have people share the pictures on Instagram that I shot of them, and the people would reach out to me.
Boom.
Hey, what's your rate? And it's funny, when I had open availability, when I would like fake it till you make it, I would be like, let me see what my schedule looks like. Let me see what my schedule looks like 2 weeks from now, or like in the next week. Like I have availability on a Wednesday, and that would be because I was going snowboarding on Tuesday and Friday. But it was,
dude,
it was
every
funny.
single like business or success story has that story.
Yeah,
You're saying
100%.
right there, where you just kind of got to fake it a little bit.
Just a
like,
little
you
bit.
know what I mean?
I wasn't really necessarily lying. I just was kind of omitting the details. But anyways, so yeah, that's how that went down. And I think shooting photos is fucking, it's a moment in someone's life that's never gonna happen again, which sounds really fucking cheesy, but it is. Yeah. It's like, I shot a wedding before, and the fucking bride was like flipping out the whole time. And my friend,
that's every wedding, isn't it? They're always just stressed out.
My friend whose job it was, and he hired me to work with him and shoot like B cam. He was like, just so you know, this is not how every wedding is. This is the worst example. This is the worst example of a wedding you will ever shoot. So he's like, you're starting in a really good place. Everything else will be easy.
It just gets better. Yeah.
And the other weddings that I worked on have been better. But anyways,
so you probably make the most cheese off of headshots and weddings, and then
headshot photography is great because it's like
consistent in LA.
It's consistent in LA. Obviously. And recently I shot a company that produces coffee, like roasts the beans and packages them and does that, called Current Commodities. Really cool spot. I shot and I did videography and photography for that company.
Sweet, dude.
So man, now it's like I'm in a place in my photography where I can shoot and do anything. So I try to do a lot of stuff, which is cool. Keeps it interesting.
Yeah. Do you want to just plug your social medias and all that shit?
Yeah,
and
man.
Then, we'll get into the rapid fire Patreon shit.
Sick, dude. Yeah, my gram is at Robb ROBB _ZBACNIK. My Facebook is my same name, Robb Zbacnik. My website I already threw at you guys, but it's rjlaphoto.com. Has my email in there. For you guys, anyone wants to DM, slide into my DMs about pricing inquiries and like scheduling. Fortunately, for the next month that I'm in Arizona until September, when I leave for LA again to move. While I'm living in Arizona, I definitely have some availability, and my rates are super cheap right now because I just want to shoot as many people out here as I can before I leave.
Oh, nice. I'll put links up and shit too, so
dope.
People can.
I appreciate that.
And click on your shit. So
yeah, man.
Yeah, dude, that's a fucking blast. I really appreciate you taking the time to come on. Dude. It was fucking interesting how it's even came about with fucking Burke and shit. And
dude, crazy.
Such a small world. And
dude, I actually enjoy I enjoy the Bogcast, dude.
Oh, sweet. I appreciate that, dude.
I watched the episode you had the dude on who spoke about when Glenn Danzig got punched in the face.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, it's so sick. What's shitty about that situation is how it kind of ruined the dude's band, right?
Who, Danzig or Northside Kings?
Northside Kings.
Well, they got Danny the singer just got like death threats.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But he wrote a book about it. I mean, he's fine.
Yeah,
it's the same thing. Like you just learn off of like whatever experience.
But I still think it's fucking. I still think it's so rad that he fucking punched Glenn Danzig.
Yeah, it's legendary, dude.
It's so sick. It's honestly, dude, how
it's one of the sickest hits ever.
It's dude. He's just clean fucking shot on the button, dude. He hits the ground, he crawls away. And then he says that he got cheap shotted. Come on, bro. You pushed him.
Oh, yeah.
If anyone ever, dude, like, I've been in enough street fights to know, like, I hate fighting. It's fucking stupid. I've had my nose broken a couple times. I've had fucking stitches above my eye, stitches on my eyelid, stitches above my eye. I've had fucking teeth chipped. It sucks. Fighting sucks. But I will tell you this. If I'm having an argument with somebody, it's going to be beyond arm's reach.
Yeah.
They don't want me to be able to punch them. I don't want them to be able to punch me. If somebody ever comes and pushes me, I'm gonna swing at them. And Danny did the right thing.
You're a big dude.
Yeah.
I don't fuck with you. Like
but Danny gets it, dude. If anyone's ever pushed me, they're like, "Why did you get punched in the face?" Oh, I pushed him. So you should have been punched in the face.
With that video, there's actually a shit ton of dislikes, and they're all fucking Danzig fans because they comment about how like they'll be
cheap shotted him.
Yeah, all this. I'm like, are you fucking? Kidding
are you serious?
Me?
Like, what video are you watching?
The same video. Yeah, I like gave up even trying to fucking
fight
comment back.
Yeah, you're like, dude,
you're like, they're just idiots.
These people are fucking
Danzig Danzig fans are morons.
Yeah, I'm sure. And Danzig as a band, like, dude, in high school, I listened to.
And I'm a huge
Danzig.
metal guy too. I
Same.
never was
I like-
into Danzig, but
I like the
personally,
Misfits
but-
a lot more than I like Danzig. To be completely real.
so, anyway.
When Danzig. Anyway,
Thanks
anyways.
for joining us, dude. You can come back anytime you want to just to bullshit. We'll get you on the Bogcast series. So you
That'd
can
be sick,
meet
dude.
Clay and shit.
Yeah, I would like to. I'd like to
do
be on the
all that
podcast.
stuff, so-
We chat a little bit more. I definitely have. I've been very fortunate to live a really hilarious life.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm sure you got millions of stories you can share us. Well, I'll ask you some rapid fire questions here on this. So make sure you join us on our Patreon to get exclusive bonus content there at patreon.com/thebodcast. And make sure to fucking hit up Rob on all his links and shit. So thanks again for joining us.
Appreciate that.
And that's another episode of Getting Blunt with Keith.
Dope.